When it comes to vintage chronographs, I don't think anyone does it better than Breitling. And Breitling invented the second push piece in 1934, and since then, the chronograph has been a main staple in their collection. Today, we're going to be reviewing my Breitling Toptime. It is a 2003. It's from the 1960s, and it's awesome. What's going on, guys? My name is Anthony, and this is Watch With Me. Before we get into the watch review, I just want to say thank you all who have subbed so far. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers, and I appreciate each and every one of you. If you've been liking my videos, do me a favor, go ahead and click the thumbs up button right now. Helps out the channel and allows me not to cry myself to sleep at night. All kidding aside, we're going to do a wristwatch check today. I am wearing my Rolex Submariner. You know what? We're all quarantined. I am super lazy. It's a miracle. I even did my hair, but you can see I am unshaved. But you know what? Being lazy, I've just been throwing on the Rolex Submariner almost every day. It's comfortable. It runs really well. It's versatile. It goes with everything, and that's why I've been wearing it. But enough of my watch. Let's get into the review. So, quick story how I got this. I used to work for Breitling in New York City, their flagship boutique, and one day a client wandered in and said his uncle passed away. He knew nothing about watches and wanted to get rid of his uncle's collection to kind of pass out along the family members. What I said was, I'm not comfortable being a representative of Breitling to give you the price. What I recommend is go to a auctioneer or someone to appraise all these pieces, get prices, come back to us, and you know what, then we'll go ahead and decide from there. He did that. I ended up purchasing a couple pieces. One of those pieces is this Breitling Toptime. I have always liked the Breitling Toptime. The Toptime has been on James Bond wrist in the movie Thunderball. It's even been re-released in 2020 by Breitling. It's one of the most collectible Breitling pieces out there in terms of the vintage market. And you know what? There's many different variations. Stainless steel happens to be the most popular. But this piece with the gold plating paired with this beautiful pebbled brown leather Jean Rousseau strap with the gold-plated buckle, I think looks really nice. About the watch, this is a 34mm watch. I've seen it advertised even at 35. I don't have a measuring tool for this right now, but I'm going to say it probably is around a 34mm. I've even seen this exact model with pump pushers. I love the fact that this actually has rectangle pushers. I think it just flows with the design of the watch so well. I think it goes with the lugs perfectly. In terms of the lugs, this is an 18mm width, so very versatile size in terms of getting different straps for it. Very, very thin hands. Even on the chronograph, you can see they're very thin. Everything about this watch is pretty elegant, I think. And I think when you add elegance with the chronograph, you have a very versatile watch. I love the fact that this has the classic B logo up top, and I like that they're showcasing Toptime more than Breitling. I think the Toptime collection is one of Breitling's go-tos of the past, and I think we're going to see more of that in the future. Interesting enough, this is a Venus 188 movement. I've even seen the likes of Hodinkee say that this is a Valjoux movement. From what I understand and through my research, this is a Venus movement. We're going to open up the case back and I'm going to show it to you now. If I am wrong and it is a Valjoux movement, let me know down below. We're going to do a little John Goldberger style from Hodinkee and pop this open with a knife and show you the movement. You can see the movement, very reliable. The Venus 188 movement can be serviced by almost any watchmaker in the world. It's been around for a very long time. You even have Chinese companies now replicating it and putting it in the likes of watches like Baltic, which I am a big fan of. But as I said, a very versatile movement that's been seen in many different watch brands of the past. This, you can see the case back actually has been engraved. This is actually not the gentleman's name that I purchased it from, and I've tried to do some research, but apparently it's a pretty generic name and I can't find any history on it. You know what, if I can change anything about this watch other than the size, because I do think 34 is a little bit small, but it does wear well on my smaller wrist, is I wish this was in stainless steel. Stainless steel happens to be much more collectible, and I think it's a safer bet if you're going to go and buy a Toptime. There's many different Toptimes online. The gold plated versions and the gold pieces itself are a little bit more obtainable in price because they're not as collectible. But if you can find like a Panda dial and a stainless steel, I think that's a fantastic buy. I think most Breitling Toptimes are all a very safe investment. I think they've appreciated enough and now they're on the rise. They're not overinflated like a lot of the vintage market in terms of Rolex and Patek and things like that. The public is going to start hearing the name Toptime a bit more. I think Breitling is going to continue to go back into the rich history of chronographs and do more reissues of re-releases of vintage watches. I love a 2-register chronograph. I love the tachometer scale. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I love the pairing of this beautiful like silver dial with the gold. One of the things I like most about this watch is this was my first vintage watch I ever purchased, and it really set me off on my journey of really only collecting mostly vintage watches now. I love the fact, looking at this, going, this is almost 60 years old. I don't know what's past. I wish I did, but I like to sit here and wonder, you know, who bought it? When they saw it in the case, what drew them to this watch? What has this watch seen on this person's wrist? It's kind of a nerdy thing to think about, but I enjoy doing it. And it's one of the fun things about vintage watches. You know what? I don't know when this has been serviced, but the timekeeping is superb. It winds really well. It keeps time. The chronograph runs really well. I don't use the chronograph that much because it's not worth it, in my opinion, to perhaps break a gear and have to send this out, but it does work well, and I love it. I would love to know what you guys think of my vintage Breitling Toptime. What do you think about Breitling's vintage watches? I personally think they're a great investment right now, and they make some unbelievable pieces that are very collectible, but still undervalued in the vintage segment. I'm going to be doing some other reviews coming up, guys, but that's really it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, thank you all for who have subscribed so far. It really means a lot to me, and for the most part, you guys leave really nice comments, and it really makes my day. I hope you all are staying sane during this quarantine. It's very scary times, and you know what? We're all going to get through this. We just got to do it one day at a time, and if I can bring some enjoyment watching some of my videos, that makes me feel great, and I love doing so. So go ahead, smash that like button if you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. It helps me out. We're almost at 1,000 subs, so thank you all for that. Doing a giveaway at 750 subs, which is right around the corner. And as I said before, I'd like to go ahead and do a watch giveaway at 1,000 subs. I'm looking at some different price points, like $200 to $300, maybe even $400, but the market's so scary right now in terms of my actual job. I don't know if I can go ahead and purchase that yet, but I will say there will be a watch giveaway, but we might just have to wait a little bit for that. But that's really it, guys. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, take care.